Hey everyone, it's Anthony and Tommy from Indecisive Prophecy, bringing you another hardest achievements video, and this one is for the game Outlast, and it's the achievement Energizer, which is to finish the game on the hardest difficulty, which is insane, without reloading the camera battery.
Alright, so real quick, before we get into like the meat of the video, just want to clarify that this is not a guide. We're just going to be discussing the general difficulty of the achievement, and it also we're going to put up a general spoiler alert because we'll be talking about like the end of the game, and if you haven't played Outlast before, I would highly recommend playing it before watching this video. Also, there's a very similar achievement on Outlast 2, but we thought we would make a guide on the original Outlast and the original achievement. The Outlast was made by Red Barrel Incorporated. It is a horror game where you are a journalist, Miles, investigating like the going-ons of this insane asylum.
An indie horror game, might I add.
Yes, they are a independent developer, and it's like a first-person survival horror game. It's a lot of fun.
Most of you probably already know about this, though. There's two of them now, and they're coming out with a third one that is going to have online multiplayer.
Well, we don't know about if it's online or not.
Which is going to have multiplayer.
All right. So the biggest part of the achievement obviously would probably be, you would think, it would be the battery reloading, since the game is like 90% in the dark. And using night vision on your camera is what drains your battery. It's hard to see without night vision, and night vision causes your battery to run down. I would recommend playing through it like a handful of times. And once you do that, actually you kind of start to know your way around, and you barely even use the night vision unless if you really need it.
Yeah, it's a lot of memorizing things, because when it gets dark in the game, then you're going to want to know where to go without using the camera.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, a lot of the dark areas too, they are not like areas where people can kill you, but instead they're just areas you need to traverse. So you can just spend your time rubbing yourself up against walls and stuff, trying to find doorways. There's only really three areas I can remember off the top of my head, like at the very beginning, when you have to turn on the generators to turn the power back on. There's a guy chasing you through like dark hallways, and that's a pain. I'd probably die there the most. And then there's a few parts with Chris Walker, the big guy that rips heads off in the sewer. It's pitch black, and you can just see the silhouette of him. And it's the same thing when you're outside and you drop into like the area with him.
Also, you're going to want to turn your gamma up all the way and turn your TV brightness up all the way, or you can't see for shit.
Yeah, that's a very good tip, because 90% of the game is like, if you do not have it up, you're just going to might as well be blind.
Might as well be blind.
You might as well be blind going for this achievement. No, but a trick I used to use, well, because I got it, spoiler, is I would keep the camera down, and I would only like pull it up if I really needed it, if I was being chased and I had no clue where to go and I was panicking and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say that's probably the easier part of the achievement, would be the camera battery.
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah, definitely start to know the area, and the more you do it, the more that part will become easier and easier. But then there's the insane difficulty, which if you played the game, you know insane makes it so if you die, it erases your save.
You die in real life.
Or it doesn't erase your save, but instead you do not die in real life. Instead, it reverts you back to the beginning of the game. So if you're an hour and a half in and you're at the end of the game, and then you mess up a jump, boom, you're back at the beginning of the game, and you lose like an hour and a half of progress. And it's just, that's probably the most annoying thing, is when you've got so far into the game and then it just resets on you, and then you have to do the entire thing over again.
Luckily, they knew how bad it would be, so they let you skip the beginning cutscene and just get straight into it again.
Yeah, when you're driving like to the place, they just skip that whole part, so you don't have to keep watching it over and over, or that would even make it worse. But the thing is, there's a lot of like insta-kill parts that if you're playing on normal or hard the first time you play through, you won't be insta-killed, but on this difficulty, there's no forgiveness at all.
Chris Walker.
Like Chris Walker, the big guy that rips heads off, he'll literally just grab you out of like a sewer hole, and then boom, you're dead. Game over.
Yeah, like when
restart.
you play on easy, I didn't even know he was there, but then when you play on insane.
I'm not even kidding. There are a few parts where I've like saw him And I'm like, I swear to God, he was never there before.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, but I would say he's probably the biggest challenge, and I guess the wall rider at the end. Because other than that, everybody can hit you once before you die. So then, like, Chris Traeger, the doctor guy, and just regular enemies can, like, tap you, and then you can, like, run by him. And it's really, you regain your health in like 30 seconds. So it's not too crazy. You can just outrun the people typically. Alright, so there's a few parts in the game that make you, like, intentionally start pooping your pants, where you're being chased or whatever. And then you have to make jumps that are, like, insta-death if you mess up. And that crap can get your heart racing. Because you're, like, right about to jump, and you're like, this would be a bad time to die if I just slipped and didn't press the A button and fell down to the my death. And then that was the end of my run. But the chases and stuff are, like, way more intense on Insane. Because on normal, you're just like, oh, if I die, let's go back to the checkpoint. But on Insane, you're like, if I die, I'm going to be very sad.
And do it over and over and over again.
Yeah. But, again, like Anthony said, it's really just doing it over and over until you start learning the paths of the enemies. Because a lot of them, they either go left or right, and you can kind of start to feel out the ones that go left or right, or even some people that you can just hide in the back and then they'll just go through a door and then they won't bother you again.
Yeah, once you know where they're going, then you could just try to avoid them every time.
Yes, it's typically, I would say this achievement's difficult. Like, it's not grindy, it's just very difficult, but if you just do it over and over again, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll get much better. You'll make it way, way farther. And then when you die at the very end, you'll be even more upset. I screwed up, like, every word of that sentence.
But you'll be even more happy when you do it.
Anthony.
Me.
What would you rate this achievement difficulty on a scale from 1 to 10?
11.
11. You're just going to waste our 11 on the second achievement we do.
I mean, I don't have it, so it's got to be hard.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. This achievement difficulty is... Shut up!
Apparently, talking is at 12.
That was so mean. So you heard it here first, folks. This achievement is a difficulty of 11. And yeah, that's about it. Anthony, any closing remarks would you like to make, sir?
A little honorable mention for Outlast. There is a DLC where you have to get a very similar achievement, which is the same thing, but for the DLC.
Yeah, it's not as hard, though. And same thing with Outlast 2. Obviously, we were like, let's make a guide on the first one. But Outlast 2's achievement is the same thing, and it's got to be like 10 times harder.
And tell us if you like these videos. If you like it, leave a like and comment down below if you want to see more of them. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, do you guys generally like this discussion style, or would you like a more formatted style, or do you not care? You should really comment whatever. And yeah, see ya.